think we're live. Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good night. All right, let me move this over here. Move this over here. I'm gonna refresh this. I think we're live. All right. Let me send a message to the Discord and let them know. All right. Hope everybody's having a good night. Just gonna wait a minute here. And we're gonna get started. It's gonna be a fun one. Got a new guitar. Hey, Digi, what's up? Hope you're having a good night. We'll see how many people join us today. I've been having a really good time with this guitar, I tell you what. Oh yeah, this guitar is awesome. I love it. It sounds so good. I hope that comes through to you the way it sounds to me. Sounds amazing. I mean, it's this guitar is just absolutely crazy. I really like this position too. It's out of phase. You can do some really cool stuff with it. Awesome. I really like the neck position too. The neck position is great on this guitar. Absolutely love it. Hey, what's up? Hope you're having a good one. Welcome. Got a new guitar. Actually got two new guitars this week. One of them was made possible by a very dear friend of mine. And the other one, I'll tell the story of it later. They're both Squiers. And they're both the same color. One of them's a Jag. One of them is a Mustang. I got the glasses on because, you know, It's a Jag and a Mustang. You gotta wear the glasses for that. It's an occasion. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play some stuff, okay? I found this really cool backing track that I really like, and we're gonna play it right now. All right. So there we go. Squire Mustang. Man, this Mustang is a must-have, I gotta tell you. This whole channel started with a Mustang, you know? I really always wanted one. Always wanted one. It was one of those guitars that it wasn't super common when I was growing up, you know? But they were legendary. And they were like this weird thing. And, so I got that Squire Bullet Mustang. That was our first video on this channel that I modded because I just wanted this. But I couldn't afford it, so I got that one and put the Bigsby. I still have it, and I'm never getting rid of it. But now, as far as I'm concerned, a real Mustang. And here we go. This is a classic vibe, 60s Squire Mustang. I almost said Fender because it feels and looks like a Fender. The neck is amazing on this guitar, man. The fret ends are perfect. The fingerboard is great. The pickups are awesome. The tremolo returns to pitch perfectly every time. It's got a very nice gloss on the back of the neck. It works exactly as you would expect a Fender would. It's an amazing, 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 amazing guitar. I always wanted one, and I just got it this week, thanks to a very dear friend of mine. So you know who you are if you're watching. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is a dream come true for me. It truly is. So, why is there another one? What's going on with this? Why is there another guitar? Well, let's grab it. My friends, this is a Squire Jag. And I also got it this week. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. Hopefully it doesn't bore you to the point where you're like, screw this guy. I don't like him. I'm leaving. And if you do, that's fine. So a few years ago, several years ago, I had this guitar, right? It was a Squire Jaguar. It was this exact guitar. This is a vintage modified. And what makes it vintage modified is, in my opinion, they're a little nicer than the classic vibes because the pickups are hotter, if that's your kind of thing. The general build quality, I will say it feels about the same as the Mustang. And I don't know if it feels slightly more premium because it's modeled after a Jaguar, which was a more premium guitar when it was released. This guitar was actually meant to replace the Stratocaster, believe it or not. Leo Fender believed that guitarists wanted to have, like, how many switches? 4 switches and 4 controls, up and down, volume and treble. He thought that was the future. Guitarists wanted an all-in-one instrument. He made it short scale so it was easier to play. Made it look kind of like a Cadillac car. That's why it's styled this way. It's meant to look like a car. I don't know if it's a Cadillac specifically, but it was meant to look like a car. So it feels slightly more premium, but that could just be the nature of the beast, no pun intended. But it is an amazing guitar. So I had this exact guitar several years ago. I actually took a hiatus from playing the guitar for about 5 years until about 3.5 years ago. And I had this guitar. I ended up getting it on Marketplace for like nothing. Long story short, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was still kind of trying to find my legs again and playing, and I couldn't figure out how to operate this thing. So I traded it for a Kramer Assault. A Kramer Assault is a Les Paul style guitar with a set neck and a Floyd Rose. And to me, I was like, oh, I want to be Eddie Van Halen someday, which don't we all? But, so I got that guitar. I hated it. And I've regretted doing that ever since. Fast forward to this week. Went to my local guitar shop, armed with that guitar. I was determined. I was like, you know what? He's not going to have a Jag. Because that's what I was hunting for. One of the guys on this channel that follows us and is in the Discord has got both a Mustang and a Jag. And he posted a few pictures. I got envy, I tell you, and I missed my Jag. So I was like, I'm going to go to my local shop and see if he's got a Jag. So I went in there. Son of a bitch had the red vintage modified Jag, the exact same model of the one I let go. Now, it's not specifically the same one that I had because that was, all the way on the other side of the state. There's no way that guitar ended up in that shop. So anyway, same color, same everything. I sat down and played it. And I almost cried because I was like, oh my God, it's like I found it. It's like it's coming back home. Even though it's not the same guitar, it's the same model, same color, feels just as nice. And I said, hey, I've got a guitar in the back of my truck, in my SUV, that I want to trade you for this one. And he and I are good friends, and he's like, bring it in and let's see. Most of the time when someone says that, it's like something that's not very nice. I brought it in, and he's like, wow, a set neck. You include the Allen wrenches on the back. It's got a Floyd Rose. It's in good condition with a push-pull on the neck. What do you want? And I was like, honestly, years ago I traded for this guitar. I traded a Jag for it, and you have the exact same one. You want to do a trade? And he said, all right. And he even gave me a free pack of strings. So here it is. I got it back. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. There are some big differences between these two instruments, though. The one that we just played, the Mustang, which is right here, I find it has a lot more beef, a lot more low end, and it is a lot, it's not as jangly and sparkly. So you just heard the Mustang. So I'm going to play the Jag for you now. Now, the Mustang had the knobs all turned up all the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the lead circuit, and I'll explain that whole thing in a minute, but put it on the lead circuit on the bridge pickup. I want you to hear what this sounds like, okay? Be prepared. It's very trebly. So that's what it sounds like on the neck pickup on this guitar, and that's the reason why I got rid of it all those years ago, because I didn't understand what... I was the guy who always plays everything wide open, like tone up all the way, volume up all the way. So that was why I got rid of it. I was like, I hate the way that sounds. I love the rhythm circuit, though. The rhythm circuit sounds awesome on this guitar. You get a lot of that great sound. And but I just couldn't get over the neck pickup. But what I figured out is you got to not be a moron. You have a tone control for a reason. So what I found out is just turn it down a little bit. So here it is with it up all the way. Right, you got that jangly sound, which is great, by the way, for certain types of music. Like... sounds great for that. And that's what it was meant for. So, idiot little Jake a few years ago didn't realize that. So, that was on me. But you can use it for the kind of music that I like to play the most. Roll the damn tone knob back. So, here's without. Tone down to about 4. And while it's still not quite as trebly as I would like, it is not unplayable. That kind of music is totally playable. So it's totally doable with this guitar. The Mustang is much better suited for it simply because it's got strap pickups and the way that they're angled. I don't know what the magic mojo is with that Mustang, man, but the bridge pickup of that guitar sounds way better than the bridge pickup of any of my Strats, and I own like 7 of them. So, my 2 cents, if you come across a classic vibe Squire Mustang or a vintage modified Squire Mustang and it's affordable, and you don't have one, and you got the money to spend or the guitar to sell to get it, get it. Same kind of goes for the Jag, but know what you're getting yourself into. If you're playing, you know, like hair metal kind of stuff, it's not going to happen really with this guitar. You can try your very best to do it, but you're going to have to roll that tone knob down to where it almost just kind of sounds like a bassy neck pick or bassy bridge pickup. And, you know, that may not be your cup of tea. So as you could tell, it doesn't quite do it. So anyway, that's story time. It's time for playing. But before we do that, I want to answer some of these questions that I see in here. It is Squire time. We got 2 red, brand new Squires to me anyway. Oop, there goes a pick. That's why I got like 5 of them right here. Only if they had a Jag Stang and Candy Apple, that'd be pretty cool. Marry them together. Thank you, Yannick. I appreciate it very much. JB, you are correct. It is a lot more rock than the Jag. They are both very unique. The video that's coming out tomorrow is a cover of a Audioslave song, and it only uses the Jag and the Mustang. Those are the only guitars in it. I used them both. They mix together so well. If you can manage to get both of them and you record songs or and stuff, it's worth it, man. Because everything that this has with the jangle, you can get the bass out of the Mustang, and when you combine those two tracks together, so I recorded 4 guitar tracks, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. The 2 on the left are one of each of this, and the 2 on the right are one of each of this. The solo was with the Jag, because the Jag is really good at cutting through the mix. And so tomorrow, that video that's coming out in about 10 hours, 11 a.m. Eastern time, that Audio Slave song was recorded with these 2 guitars. And holy cow, man, does it sound really cool. So, yeah, anyway, that's story time. I was so excited to show you. And yes, I'm wearing the glasses because I got a Jaguar and a Mustang. I already said that if you were already here a minute ago, so sorry for repeating myself. Yannick, a good resource to use to learn fretboard and soloing. I actually talked to one of my friends about this last night, and here's the thing. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for that. Everybody's different. I would say, for me personally, learning how to solo, it was watching other guitarists and listening to other guitarists. Now, you're going to say, yeah, but that's great, but I need to know, where do I even begin? And that's why I said watching. So, you may not like him, and that's fine if you don't. But I learned how to solo by watching Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. I watched that tape over and 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 over. Because, first of all, he's a left-handed guitarist, so everything that he does was mirrored for me. And I was able to watch him like I was looking in a mirror. So if he was playing like Red House or something, I could see where he was on the guitar, and I could hear what he was doing. And then I could kind of play along with it and sort of follow him a little bit. And then I maybe would play rhythm behind him, and then kind of get into that idea of what he's doing and why he's doing it and why it works. And so then I would learn small portions of a solo. There was one part, I don't remember now because this was literally like 20 years ago. But there was one specific part that I loved in one of his solos. It might have been the song Isabella from that concert, and I learned that one riff. And that's the thing. If you learn those riffs as you watch your favorite guitarists, the people that you strive to be like, you start collecting that bag of tricks, right? And you start, sticking them in your pocket. And then one day, it can even be years down the road, if you're not like me and an idiot and forgot the riff. I know how it goes, but I'd have to sit here and fumble through it to figure it out again. But you'll be able to pull those out all the time. And then eventually, all those little things that you really like start to kind of connect to each other. And then you start to understand why it works. It works because it's in this spot of the guitar in this key. So the very first thing that you should learn, though, for sure, learn what each note is on this string. So if someone tells you it's in B, you need to know you're here. That's the first thing that I would tell you to learn, is learn where all the notes are here. Okay? Now, I'm going to have to make an admission to you here. I cannot read music, I cannot sight read music, and I never use tabs. The only notes that I really know off the top of my head looking at a guitar just instantly is this string right here. And this string, because they're the same. All these other ones, I got to think about it for a second. That's the way I am. And so maybe you shouldn't follow that path because that's the path I followed. If you can learn all the notes of every string, that would help you a whole lot. But if it bores you to the point where you want to quit, don't quit. Find something that works for you. So that's my 2 cents on that. I can't read music. So I just know, it's in B. Okay, well, I know all these different things. I'm just going to play them in B if I think they fit this song. And then if it's a song like, I don't know, your ear helps a lot. I don't think in my head like, okay, so that's A, B, D, G. Like, I don't think that. I think it's A, and then it goes a little higher plus a little more, so that's D. And then it goes a little lower, but not quite, so that must be a C. And then I just fumble it around until I figure it out. And I hate to admit that. I hope that doesn't make you think lesser of me as a musician. If it does, oh well, I don't really care. But that's me. That's how I do it. So if you want to go that route, I do think it's beneficial because do you need the major, minor pentatonics? I do know them, and I use them a lot. I use them. I don't want to say I use them exclusively because here's the thing. So the pentatonic scale, I had to admit to you, is the base of what I do when I improvise. However, I add notes to it that I know sound good, but I don't know why. I don't know. There's a name for it, right? It comes from another scale. You're borrowing it from some musical theory thing that I don't know. I'll give you an example. I'm going to put this on a clean setting so that it doesn't blow your ears out. So I'm going to put this on the rhythm circuit for this. So, for example, if I'm playing blues in A, okay? If you were to just play pentatonic scale, then you'd be limited to something like this. Right? And that sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I learned that there's these little magical notes you can add that you borrow from other scales. I don't know why they work, but they do. So here's an example. So most of those notes are in the pentatonic scale that I just played. But I'm playing the same note in a different octave or a different place. So, that's one of the things. And then the major scale is an absolutely must-have thing. All it is the pentatonic scale that has extra notes in it and it ends early. That's the way I think of it. So if it's A, it starts on A. And then, you can do stuff with it. So, I do use the major scale. Major scale is a must-have, I would say. If you're going to learn only 2 scales in your whole life, make it the major scale and the minor scale pentatonic. So many people would be really mad. I'm a member of some guitar groups. I want to say the word member because that makes it sound like it's special because it isn't. There's a few guitar groups that I follow online, and one of the memes is the guy that only plays the pentatonic scale. Here I am. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it. I got into a band with it after all, and I play out, and I got to make a YouTube channel. I don't know how many of you noticed that. I'm sure a lot of you did. And they're like, dude, this guy just plays the same scale, and he reuses riffs all the time and stuff. So trying to keep going and learn new stuff. I'm trying to learn the part of the end of that solo in the new Extreme song. Well, it's not new anymore, but that crazy thing that Nuno does at the end of the song. I'm trying to learn that, not so that I can play the song or cover it or anything, but that technique is absolutely crazy cool to me. That palm muted crazy staccato thing that he's doing on these lower strings. If you haven't listened to that song, it's called Rise by Extreme. I don't care if you leave me to go watch it. Go watch that solo. It'll give you hope for yourself and hope for the future of the guitar and the future of rock music. I was pretty pessimistic about it, and then that came out, and I was like, oh man, that solo is going to inspire a lot of people. It inspired me. I think it'll inspire a lot of people. So go watch it if you haven't. So yeah. If you hear something that you're like, whoa, on any song from anybody, and you're like, whoa, rewind it, listen to it again, and be like, can I physically play that? And if you can, go learn it. If you can't, play as much of it as you can, and then practice the part that you do know every day. Then add a little to it. Play it slower. YouTube's got a feature where you can slow it down to up to, a quarter speed? Use that feature. That feature did not exist when I was learning how to play the guitar, and boy, do I wish it did. And on the other hand, I wish it didn't. I'm glad it didn't. Because it's at full speed, you're forced to see it in full speed. You can't really... it makes your brain sharp, But, I guess the same logic would apply to something like exposure therapy for somebody who has anxiety about something. It doesn't work for everybody to be full blast in your face to get over or get on or learn something. So I could totally see how only be watching it at full speed and only listening to what I'm telling you, don't look at tabs, don't learn theory, blah, 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 is the only way, because you got to be super crazy extreme metal and only hardcore real guitarists would do it that way. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just telling you what works for me, and I hope it might work for you, because maybe you have trouble with tabs and theory and you just don't like it. It makes you hate the guitar because you look at it like it's a study guide or something. And if that's the case, get the hell away from anything that makes you think that way about the guitar, because it will demotivate you. Find the thing that does motivate you. Maybe it's trying to figure out that pinch harmonic in No More Tears by Zakk Wylde. Or maybe it's just the tapping section of Eruption by Eddie Van Halen. Or maybe it's the opening riff to Whole Lotta Rosie by AC/DC. Or maybe it's, the solo of Stairway to Heaven. Any of those things that inspire you, that you like, it can be bits and pieces and parts, and that's fine. There's nothing shameful. Are you going to get up from that session, or once you master that part of that solo or that song, are you going to get up and take your gear out in front of a crowd and perform it for them? No. So it's okay if that's what you know. It could be a cool little trick, like maybe your friends want to see you play something, you know? That used to happen to me. Play something. It's like if you go up to someone and say, hey, say something funny. You know, it puts you on the spot, and you're like, uh-oh. That's why it's also good to have some of that stuff. Then you can be like, oh, yeah, I can play this part of this thing, and you can just do it for them, you know? Maybe it'll inspire them to either listen to rock music and give all of us, and guitar music and give all of us some hope, or motivate you, or maybe they'll pick up a guitar. Growing up, I had a friend across the street who played the guitar, and I used to go over to his house almost every day, and we would play the guitar together. He'd call me and he'd say, hey, you want to come over and jam? And I would. A lot of my childhood was doing that. So maybe you'll play something like that and inspire one of your friends to play. Or maybe you'll inspire one of them to be like, oh man, I don't know about that, but a bass guitar would be cool. You know, have somebody to play with. Have somebody to share this with. This is meant to be shared. That's why this YouTube channel exists. I don't want to sit in, and yes, I'm the guy who sits in his basement surrounded by his 30 guitars. I'm that guy. But they're meant to be shared. And that's why I made this channel, because I want to show you. I want to show you all my guitars, and not because I'm bragging and want to be like, look at me, I'm cool, man, whatever. No, it's not that at all. It's I want to share with you. This is really cool. If you end up finding a good deal on this, or if you already have one and you just want confirmation that you have made a good choice, or if you're not sure about it, you know, maybe I can provide some insight and try and help. This is all about helping each other and being there for each other, because being a guitar player right now is tough because other guitar players are pretty toxic often, so you don't get support there. The whole music industry doesn't give two craps about the guitar anymore. And so all you've got is 50-year-old records and old guys, which, by the way, my best friends are over the age of 50 and 60, so I relate to you guys a lot if you're watching. So, you know, we gotta kindle some of that. We gotta rekindle some of that. We gotta bring some of that stuff back. Give hope to this and never give up, no matter what. And yeah, so anyway, I hate that physical music doesn't exist anymore. I actually wanted to send some music to one of my friends. Sure, I could send him a link, but I tell you what, there's nothing like popping open a CD player or a cassette tape deck, listening to music someone gave you. That era is over, sadly. I have half a mind to send this person a tape deck with a tape so that they can experience it. But, you know, the sharing of music thing is kind of gone at this point, and that's sad. So I'm trying to do that here. These tech videos aren't me showing you, hey guys, look how great I am. I can terribly solder a guitar and choose an ugly pickguard for it. You know, it's not about that, bragging. I want to be like, hey, you want to upgrade your guitar, but you don't want to pay someone else to do it. You really want to learn? Here you go. That's how you do it. You know? The most rewarding thing about this is not the potential for monetization or the potential for getting more followers or whatever like that. It's not like about that. Most rewarding thing is when I get a message or a comment from somebody that says, hey man, I followed your video and I was able to do whatever. Like, that's what it's all about for me. So thanks everybody. I appreciate it. I'm not leaving. I'm not saying goodbye right now. I want to thank you all for being here. All right, let me look through these comments that I ignored while I was rambling. Yeah, Yannick, check out that song. Dumbest thing, first melody I taught myself was Hall of the Mountain King, the classical thing. I don't think that's dumb at all. Is Hall of the Mountain King the thing from The Hobbit? Like the animated one? Or is that... I'm ignorant about that. My wife knows this stuff. I don't know this stuff, and I'm ashamed to admit it. But if it's a classical thing, it's not stupid at all. A lot of the greatest guitarists, their music, if it were played by an orchestra, would sound just right. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Music is about sharing. King of the Monsters by Racer X? Absolutely. That song is crazy cool. I love that song. I learned the intro and like the first part of that song, and then when it got to the solo, I tried to do the thing I told you, but some of those things are untouchable. Some of us will never be able to play like Paul Gilbert or Eric Johnson. We just have to accept that now. Here's one. Go look up Scotty Anderson on YouTube. He plays a Telecaster. There's a song called Boog's Boogie. You should go look that up sometime. I bet you've never heard of it. This guy is absolutely nuts. The local legend is that he was actually approached by a bunch of labels because of how unbelievably good he was at the guitar. And he turned him down, and to this day, he still lives in a small Midwestern suburb in Ohio. He said no, and he's living his best life. Check him out. He's pretty cool. Performing art, you're right. It has to be shared. Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. Thanks, Digi. I really appreciate that very much. Thank you. Classical piece played a lot on Halloween. An old DOS game that used the soundtrack. I have no idea how that goes, honestly. I'm gonna pull it up. If it's a classical, If it's a classical song, then it won't copyright this video. Oh, one more thing. We cannot do AC/DC songs on live streams anymore, guys. I'm sorry. When I did Whole Lotta Rosie a couple weeks ago, I actually got a copyright thing that SME was claiming that I played the recording of the song. I'm not saying I was that good, but the algorithm determined I was playing a recording of the song, and it blocked the video worldwide. So I risked it and sent in an appeal. Here's the problem. If you send in an appeal and you lose, you could face legal action. Now, the legal action in this case is a cease and desist to take the video down, and I was willing to take that risk because it's BS, man. That was a cover. That was me performing. Live performances, you can't really make money off of it without sharing it with the artist, but you can't have it banned. ADDC. I have actually written several songs like that because I love that kind of music. Marshall's up real loud, simple beat, 4/4, simple bass, and then just blowing people's heads off with these loud, powerful chords. I love that. Okay, anyway, Hall of the Mountain King. We're just going to listen to part of it right now. Kings of the Sun, I'm not friends, but like I know the drummer from that band. Like I talk to him sometimes. He shared my cover of Drop the Gun, one of their songs, on his page, and people seem to like it. One guy didn't like it, but that's okay. Some people don't like it. That's not a problem. Okay, here's Hall of the Mountain King. Oh, everybody knows this. I didn't know it was called this. Okay. So that was the first melody that you learned? That's incredibly interesting to me. Most people it's like, I want to learn how to do Crazy Train or Iron Man or something. But that was what you chose? Really? Is it Dio? There's no way. I did not know this exists. Is it Dio? Oh, I definitely can't play this though, because it will take the video down. Wow. Okay, I'm going to save this to my queue and I'm going to watch it later. I'm sorry I can't play this in here, but I really don't want to risk getting a copyright. I'm sorry. So anyway, we talked a lot. Because at the moment I'm partial to the Mustang, I'm going to put this back down and grab that. He will come for my booty? All right, well, I'll be careful. Okay. We can finally play some music. And I really hope that I didn't bore you guys by talking about that stuff, but, you know, sometimes it's fun to do. Okay, let's see. Epic 80s in E. I just did E. Let's do B. I like B. I like singing it. I don't know if I can think of anything to sing for this, but we'll go for it. That was cool. Oh, man. So that was definitely, like, a slower version of Comfortably Numb solo. Thank you, Digi. I appreciate it. So in my head, I was speeding it up because I was expecting it to be, like, that tempo. And then I'd be like, whoa, slow the hell down. This guitar. Holy cow. This guitar sounds so good. And feels so good. It's a Squier. If that on the headstock changes the way that your ears work, come on. If I were not able to see this, I would think that maybe this was a Fender. I'm being completely, totally serious with you. All right. What do we want to do? Anybody have any requests or suggestions at the moment? I had a short list of songs that I wanted to do on here, like on these live streams. Like I was driving the other day and I had all these ideas, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that one. Oh yeah, I'll do that one. Oh yeah, I'll do that one. Then I forgot every single one of them. So, sorry. There is one that I really like that I've done on this channel before, and I'm thinking of just doing that because I could play that song every single day. No, it's not Pride and Joy. I think that one's kind of gone. It's overstayed. It's welcome at the moment. We will play it again on here someday, but Come As You Are. I guess I am wearing the... That is, I think it's the Audition Plus. I have so many amps. I have to look. It's the Audition Plus. I did a video on it. That thing is absolutely crazy. It's so good. Like, you can find those for like $15 sometimes. Now, the speaker it comes with isn't the greatest, but it has a preamp out. So I put the preamp out into my power amp in of one of my other amps that has two 6L6s, and it was humongous. I gigged it. My band, when I got there, they were like, oh. Like, they didn't really judge me. Maybe they should have. I showed up with a practice amp. But I had my other amp, too. And I was like, no, guys, you don't understand. I'm going to use the preamp from that one, and I'm going to put it into the power amp of my big one. And it worked. It sounded so cool. So I actually did a video about that amp, I think. I hope. If I haven't, I need to. But anyway, that's what that small amp is. I've got like 3 or 4 other amps in my garage. I am literally crawling with amps right now. Much to the pleasure of my wife, I do soon intend to get rid of a bunch of these and get one really nice one. Maybe a 5150, maybe a JCM 2000. Because, hey, if I'm going to get rid of a bunch of amps that people hate, that have a bad reputation, why don't I get like the king of the bad reputation? The JCM 2000. Everybody hates that amp. I like it. Or the Mustang 5. That thing is crazy cool. I have a Mustang 1 over here. You can't see it. It's off camera. I use it a lot. I'm not using it today. I'm using my Pod HD 500X for all of this. Guitar into there. Mic into there. Computer into there. And all of that out to you. I'm wearing these headphones to protect my hearing. That's another piece of advice I have. Protect your hearing. You'll regret it when it's gone. Okay. I totally missed this. What did people say? He said, come as you are. That's how it goes, isn't it? Thanks, Sonic. I appreciate it. That's the hard thing. I'm lucky that I have good stuff around here, like good pickings around here, and good friends. That's how I get a lot of stuff. I appreciate it. So I tried to... Okay, here's a funny story. When I try to play that song and sing it at the same time, I have issues, man. Trying to do this. I can like start it really good and then I like totally screw it up. So I'm sorry. I would love to do that, but I just don't think I can do that right now. Sorry. I was playing is it in drop? It's in like drop D or something. I don't remember. Let me just put it this way. I recorded Lithium. And, you're right. Like, as soon as I got this Mustang, I was like, I gotta do those two. Those are my two favorite songs by Nirvana. I gotta do those two. So I did. But sometimes I dump the information into my head, record the song, and then it's all gone. It sucks. It's like having a hard drive that you gotta keep deleting files out of. Pedal. Loop pedal. So I have one built onto this thing, but it sucks. Listen to this. So when I record into this, listen to how awful this is. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so I'm going to just play something, and I'm going to play it back, and I want you to tell me how much quieter it sounds to you. Is that really quiet to you, or is it just in my headphones? Yeah, I don't know, man. I have a loop station in the other room, so I just need to hook that up. Because this looper sucks. If you get an older pod, don't rely on the looper. It's bad. The looper that's built into the PV Viper, though, is amazing. I used to use it all the time. Those are great amps, by the way. I recommend them. How'd that happen? Happens sometimes, I guess. Oh man, unfortunately for you, the PV Decade is a bit of a people want them, and they're impossible to get for like less than $300 now, which is super stupid. It sounds very similar to this Audition Plus. I think some band used it in an album. Was it Queens of the Stone Age or something? Some band like famously used them in their album, and then everybody was like, "Oh, I gotta have that." Now they're impossible to find for less than that, unless you're lucky. You go to like a pawn shop, and they're like, "Oh, it's a crappy little PV combo practice amp. I'm gonna sell it for nothing. Get rid of it." I love that song. I feel obligated to play a Nirvana song, but like, maybe I shouldn't. A leash for your cat? Like, seriously? I've seen people that take those little like bubbly backpack things in, and it's like their head sticking up out of it. I saw one at the grocery store the other day. It was awesome. I don't have cats. I'm terribly allergic to them, but I have no idea if I can do breed. I'm gonna try it. Maybe. I apologize seriously in advance if this is bad, because I don't know if I can do it right now. I need to listen to it, though, for a second and see if it's tuned down, because it might be.
Know you're born to lose, and gambling's for fools. That's the way I like it, baby. I don't wanna live forever.
That's all you get. All right. Anyway, I need to listen to this backing track for a sec. Deluxe reverb. My dream amp has always been a twin, but they weigh like 8,000 pounds. Deluxe reverb is an incredible amp. The other guitar player in my band has one. And he used it exclusively until he managed a Silverface Princeton for less than $100. He beat me. He beat all of my deals that I ever made. All of them. Oops. Found it on Marketplace. Silverface 70s Princeton, less than $100. Don't give up, guys. It could happen to you too. Okay. Anyway. I gotta listen to this for a sec. I need to hear the bass, though. Come on. I got it. Oh. Lord help my voice. I don't know if I can sing it. Wish me luck. All right. Hey, we're coming up on an hour. I love all you guys so much. You are very important to me. Thank you for watching. This is it. This is the end. My only friend, the end. Anyway, let's go. To breed, we can plant a house, we can build a tree. I don't fucking care. We can have all three. She said, 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 she said. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, care if I'm slow. I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind, I don't mind. Don't have a mind. Get away, get away, get away, get away, way from your home. I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, afraid. Ghosts, even if you have, even if you need. I don't mean to stare. We don't have to breathe. We can plant a house, we can build a tree. I don't fucking care. We can have all three. She said, she said, she said. She said, she said, she said, she said, she said.
three. She said, 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 good.
Woo! Well, my voice is done now. Thank you guys. That was so fun, man. So, okay, before I go, I want to tell you a quick story about that song. So, I went over to my friend's house one time, and they were, like, obsessed with Nirvana, right? And so, I went in their basement, and I really liked that song. And they're like, hey, man, you want to play it? And I was like, okay. So, we played it, and we played literally so loud that my ears were ringing for, like, 3 days. But anyway, I went back home, and I was like, I want to record that. And, I was a teenager. I had horrible equipment and stuff, but... So I was recording it, and I went in my closet and closed the door to record with this very microphone. I've had this microphone for like over 15 years. Anyway, this very microphone, took it into my closet, and I was singing that song like as loud as I could, And then I went out, and when I went out into my room, my dad was sitting at my desk, and he's like, "What are you doing?" So I still have that recording like saved on my... somewhere. I have it accessible. And it's just, it's funny. Don't give up on your dreams. And I've not, my dream was to play the guitar and for me to share it with people. So as far as I'm concerned, I've achieved my dream. My bigger dream, of course, is to like maybe make it someday somehow with a band or by myself. But, always I'm going to aim for that now. But anyway, I want to thank you guys because you helped that dream come true for me. We're very close to having 1,000 subscribers, which is fantastic for this channel. And it allows the content to reach more people, and I owe that all to all of you. So I just want to thank you guys very much. We're tracking to hit that in the next couple of weeks, and that's going to be a very big achievement for me personally, and I owe it to every single one of you that are watching this now, that watched this earlier, and who will watch this in the future, and I can't express my thanks to you enough. So thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. I had a really good time with you guys tonight. I'm going to do this again sometime real soon if I can. And, yeah, have a good night. Join the Discord if you want to. I was going to put a link in here, but if you go to my channel and go to the links section, you'll see the Discord. And it's also in every other video that I do. The Discord link is in there. So join it. We'll talk. I'll still be talking to you guys even after I end this. So once again, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. You all mean a whole lot to me. Keep on rocking. See you next time. Video's coming out in 9 hours. It is an Audio Slave song, and I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. I will review both of these guitars in good time. So, see ya. Bye.